Well, let's get into why you decided to switch from sheriffs and law enforcement to county commissioner.
I needed a break. No, I I feel that there's some things in the county that need fixing. Several of elected officials and others are saying we need to have some continuity. There's some divide there. There's one of the things that I pride myself when I was sheriff is when I started, none of the law enforcement working together. We're talking a while ago, but we've been able to get it so that in Southeast Idaho, and Eastern Idaho for that matter, we all work together. When we have an issue, we work together. There's no use buying, as you remember, our SWAT vehicle, big, expensive, $300,000. Well, if all of us go together on it and we share it back and forth, that makes more sense than everybody buying one, because most of them can't. Some of the smaller counties couldn't afford one if they put their whole budget to it. But we can go and help them when they need it because they don't need it that way. And I think that we need to have a cooperative government. I think the city, the two cities, they're asking the county to have an election. I don't even know if they're asking for that, but they're getting one. Let's sit down and work these things out. That's what I would like to see, is that I would like to see some more collaborative government, and it can be done. And if we put party politics aside, we can get something done.
And you're running as an independent.
I'm an uncommitted, but an independent is what most of them are used to. I did that on purpose. I feel that doing that, I can take the best of both sides. And those that it seems to be, if you pick one, then you're automatically against the other. And that doesn't get cooperation very well. And so I did that on purpose. I know the good sides of both of those parties, and I feel that I can be somebody that can listen, understand, and work together on both sides so that we can get each other working together instead of the hostility that does exist in city and county government to where it shouldn't be at all.
So you kind of talked about how collaboration is part of what you're running on. What issues specifically do you hope to address if you're elected to commissioner?
I see something that isn't necessarily everybody's fault. It's not someone you can blame, but our economy has been growing. Even during COVID, it hasn't taken a big shot like others. But that means that people are moving in, and on the national rate, Idaho is where everybody's moving to. We haven't caught up with that. We don't have the housing. And because we don't have those housing, the properties we do have are high. And because of that, you're assessed by what your neighbor's property values are. And it's pushing the fixed income, those that have retired, and it's pushing them right out of the market. And even our rentals are hard to get. That's not an easy answer, but I know that if we can sit down and get everybody together and put the sides apart, let's start working on what's best for everybody. And what's best for everybody is to be able to get some housing going back up, and they are starting to do that. But we also need affordable housing. Look what we've been able to do with some of the things with Aid to Friends and those type of things when everybody works together. I've been on the board for those and some others, and with Hope and Recovery and some of the other things that I'm involved in. I would like to see I'll go on a long rant and then I'll let you cut it, but one of the things that have frustrated me, I remember we helped a lad out with a triple murder homicide. This was all done by gang members out of California. They came into Malad, committed a horrid crime, left a little 2-year-old wandering in the house for days, walking in all that mess. It was probably something I'll never get out of my mind. And Oneida County doesn't have the resources to be able to handle a major crime. Neither do we, for that matter. But of according to law, that's all up to the property owners of that particular county to bear the brunt of that whole investigation and the trial and everything. Our property taxes are getting bent about to the level that they can be had. They've got to be looked at. Now, I know that the money's got to come from somewhere, but what I'm looking at is, whether you agree with it or not, at least those people that come in from other states to visit here and to recreate here, if they have some kind of sales tax that they pay, so lessen some of that burden, and we can take some relief off of our property taxes. And we need to look at all of these options, and there are more, but those are one that I can just give you a personal example of how a county can be almost bankrupt with something to that effect, because you can't plan for that. You can't say, like they went through before, or in September they all said, this is what we're going to need for next year. This time last year, we had no idea that COVID was coming in. And so it's a crazy way to work, but on the other hand, we've got to be flexible. We can't run local government 100% on property tax.
All right. Yeah.
How's that?
I think that's great. I think that answers all my questions.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, I mean,